It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, light Forex social trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Hello, good afternoon, 22nd of November 2019, it's 20 past 3 p.m. CET, 10 minutes ahead of the US cash open. Piotr here, this is the Light Forex Global YouTube channel, and we are going to try to make the summary of the week, a little bit of the summary of the week. We are going to focus on US PMI and we will see if there is any interesting setup just to finish quite good week. Well, some of the traders, some of the investors, especially bulls on the crypto, may try to argue with that, as we do have crypto bloodbath after a few comments from the PBOC headquarter in Shenzhen. If I'm not mistaken, PBOC, People Bank of China, so the Central Bank of the China, right? But to be honest with you, we went through few possible bans from the China side, and the crypto market is still there. What I'm confusing with this note from the People Bank of China is that the suggestion is that people shouldn't confuse blockchain with the cryptocurrency, that the two different things. Well, that's where we can try to discuss. Anyway, that's not for this meeting. This is purely related to the FX, gold and indices. We will see. Let's start with the quick risk warning, guys. Please bear in mind trading FX on margin carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for investors who can sustain loss of some or initial investments. So please do not invest the money you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Alright, so let's have a look what we have on the charts here. 4 minutes ahead of the US cash open. We'll start again with S&P. Maybe finally today one of those levels are gonna be hit, and there are going to be the possibility to try to short US indices. To be honest with you, yeah, I'm still quite bearish, of course, from the bigger time frame perspective. That's what we discussed yesterday, a little bit lower. I mean, well, from here, some 50 points lower on S&P daily weekly close. That could spur the market attention from the short side, but as of now we are talking more about the intraday. So when the US cash is open, I'm going to switch to 1 minute chart, and we are going to check what is going on from the first 5 minute trading range. Well, 15 minutes ahead of our meeting, for the whole morning I've been waiting after the huge drop on the Euro JPY. I've been waiting to be filled on the short side. Now I think we might see a little bit higher levels. So watching for now instead of being immediately short, because what I'm waiting for on the US indices is a spike higher. So the yen crosses could spike higher as well. So we will see. But if you remember, for those who were watching yesterday, congratulations, because there's no way not to trade that one, right? You have everything. We visualize it through details. The euro dollar, they spiked, there was a gift and short setup waiting. I've been trading twice, probably this euro dollar today. waiting for another setup, this time on a rally towards 272. We'll see how it's going to settle after the PMI. When we are talking about the FX, it's good to check where we are from the option expiration perspective within next 35 minutes. Dollar yen, we are trading around 108.60 and the expiration 109 is a 1 billion, 108.50 400 million, 107.80 108 1.5 billion. So long way, 50 pips, 50-50. Euro dollar is trading right now currently around 10.60. And we have around billion between 60-70, we have billion around 80-90, more than billion between 11-11-10, 800 between 40-50, well, nothing extraordinary. So very curious where we are going to end that week. Plenty of things going on around. And this is the good for either later this evening or for tomorrow for the breakfast to try to enjoy that one. That's the Wall Street Journal article about the Bridgewater, and the thing is they took huge bet via put options that the market either S&P 500 or Stocks 50 will go lower. The thing is that you have to read it carefully, right? Because it's not that clear if it's a straight bet. So just, don't be biased. Go through that article. It's very interesting. It also could be the hedge against the exposure they have. So go through, check what's your takeaway. But it's very, very, very interesting. What earlier we had Canadian retail sales, and the Canadian dollar is a little bit stronger. The data was a bit better than what market was expecting, and in that case it's good thing because Canadian dollar is approaching the levels I'm waiting for. If you remember, what we are trying to learn, we are trying to to pick up some levels, zones, and then trying to train our patience and wait for the price to come to us, right? What we're trying to avoid is the situation that we are chasing the market, because that's the first possible way to fail. And that's something I'm going to discuss within one of the next few educational videos. The first about my charts been published last Monday probably, so either over the weekend or next Monday they're going to be more slowly, step by step. So what I like here is that we pick up this yellow, if you remember, we pick up this yellow zone and we have one more level below. Both of them are like 50% and 61.8. Anyway, also 1-to-1, as you can see right here, right now, would work well. So I'm waiting for the yellow zone to eventually try to trade them alongside of the USD cut. Okay. We have 30 seconds to go. Cable falling down. There was a morning. It's funny. It's really funny. There was I'm not sure if it was from today or it was published today and done earlier. But again, Goldman Sachs was out. That the Goldman likes 2020 cable, and cable is falling out of the cliff right now, so completely opposite to business as usual with Goldman Sachs and gold. And I'm waiting for a pullback, first one towards 65. We'll see if that holds. That might be interesting from the long perspective. But the US cash market is open, so let's have a look where we are. Let's have a look where we are from the first 5-minute trending range perspective. So that's not gonna change the entry. That might change the high. And the low. All right, so we're going higher. That's good, because I want them to hit this 3,115 eventually. Oh. So we, like with euro dollar, right? Like with euro dollar. So we did the visualization yesterday. Today market, well, you know, that was almost to the peep, right? Of course, I've been thinking about the whole zone, but well, the visualization it's almost same when we are talking about the importance, like the training of the trying to train your discipline, right? Visualization is also very, very, very important. That's why very often there are plenty of different lines on my chart just for you, right? For those who okay, because it's very easy to talk about the what happened to the price. No, we are talking actually well in advance what might happen. I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm trying to visualize based on what I see to the left. I'm trying to visualize, and then eventually if the market is trading the plan I've created, then I'm trying to execute that plan, right? So we will see what's the PMI going to be. We will see where we are at the top of the hour, where the options are going to expire. And yeah, and that's it. And then slowly we can prepare ourselves for weekend. So looks like the first 5-minute trading range, at least for now, might be negative, or they just hunting for the, well, if they hunting for the stops, they should go at least that low with quick rejection, so 3,100, we'll see. The thing is that it's very narrow, right? It's extremely narrow, that range. So it might end up that the first part of the US session, at least towards the European close, might be boring on the indices. Well, they may. Hello MHB, good evening for you, good afternoon for me still. Hopefully everything is alright. I'm going to have a chance to talk to the Light Forex guys over the weekend or right after the weekend, so we will see. So very narrow first 5-minute trading range. We didn't hurt bulls, bears, were neither bulls, bears been hurt. So, well, maybe they are waiting for PMI. So if they're waiting for the PMI, so the rest of the market is going to wait for PMI. I'm trying to watch carefully cable. I don't want to stay with cable overnight, right? Meaning that if I'm going to decide to go with cable, it's gonna be whatever happen. I'm gonna be out the latest with the, like, one tick before the market close, right? As of now, the gap at the start of the week, right? Strong pullback, we close the gap, rally back, huge sell-off, right? So, well, that was between what happened yesterday towards the end of the day and today, right? So at some point, if we are going to start rally back, because this that was the poor bounce, right? So I'm looking at least for this type of the bounce at some point. Maybe after the option expire and ahead of the London fix, maybe. So I don't know if we are going to start from here. Here is a target towards 28. I've been a fan of the longs from something around 28.50. But when I saw the quality of that move to the downside, the idea about the longs, at least for now, gone. Also, euro dollar would like to see some 1070, gold 65 we'll see, and V formation, there you go. We'll see. So if that's the V, so at least we got a chance for this first zone that the stops are gonna to be taken out, right? That's what we discussed yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, first liquidity, second liquidity, though, that could be the way to go with. Okay, so for us working with this 1 minute chart, that's what I'm looking for, right? So we may also narrow that range like this, just not to be confused. So 1-to-1 equal moves, that is gonna bring us here, and triple, and we are at the second supply zone, as you can see. So I wouldn't say it's unrealistic, right? It's very possible that we are going to get there. Probably I'm gonna to do same as the previously when I was short 2 days ago, right? On Wednesday I was short S&P, and when we were live, right? And probably I'm gonna do the same. Some exposure, maybe some exposure at the first one, and eventually it's trying to scale in at the second one with the tight stop above. We will see. And guys, from my perspective, Friday, right, for us, for the small fishes, when Europe is going home, we are going home as well, right? You don't want to try to fight with the New York banks, right? After all. Then you may want to watch indices eventually, but not FX, I would say. Five minutes to go. With S&P and the it's like 5 points, 6 points. Downside rejected, upside rejected. And with the cable, that's, you know, it's not gonna be that there anything was been lost, right? So let me remove that any chance was lost. If we are going to close like this, the real fireworks may start as early as next week with a little bit of the rally back, retest this weekly open Monday low and continuation to the downside to look for stops below 27.50. So, well, but with this huge break to the downside below this trend line, right? I've been thinking that's gonna be just lower shadow, some opportunity to jump and low to long side. But when I saw the quality of that move to the downside, I immediately skipped the idea about the long. Okay, USA, 15 seconds to go. Please don't forget that there is a little bit of the delay because of the YouTube rules. So please, I will try to put to the chat window, but also please try to check the data on your side as well. $51.6 versus 51 expected. So more to the upside on the dollar side. Gold is weakening. It's all about this weekly open Monday low on the euro dollar. Because what we have right now, try to visualize for yourself. Don't try to switch to see that, right? Try to visualize to yourself, how does this weekly candle on the euro dollar looks like, right now. So we are starting to create upper long shadow, so the downside might be quite good, right? So if you short based on this yesterday trading plan, then you are staying short, right? If not, then I'm waiting. Me personally, I'm no longer short. I'm waiting for the retest of 70, but looks like this time it might not work my way, right? Well, we will see. So is it good news going to be treated as a bad news or what? Because still the range is very, very tight. Gold is testing the first zone I've mentioned before. But of course, not this type of the pullback I've been expecting. Okay, the plan we had from yesterday with this short euro dollar, I'm going to remove the lines. They are disturbing me right now a bit. Looks like the market makers are doing whatever they can to survive towards the option expiration for now. It's not that strange that the dollar yen is only the mover right now, the bigger mover. As you know, they have 50 pips to the upside, 50 pips to the downside in terms of the good chunk of the option expiration, so they can move. The 1050 should 1050, 1040 on euro dollar should hold towards within the next 10 minutes towards the option expiration. So well, we will see. Go and grab a bottle of water, guys. If we are going to break and close below those lower shadows we've seen earlier today, well, so those lower shadows right now may work as a supply, and they are related to the weekly open and Monday low, but we have to get good close below, right? As of now, we see, also because of the option expiration, we see some fight and defense is going on right now here. S&P so narrow. So we have to survive next 3 minutes, and then we will see if there is anything to do. Some lower shadows on both cable and euro dollar right now. Looks like reaction within 50% of that broken range. Okay. So, is it that low we were talking about earlier? Well, especially that it's going to retest the yellow zone, which were supposed to work as a demand. Right now, it might be possible supply, right? But again, I don't want to stay with cable overnight. So, meaning that whatever happen, I'm not gonna hold the cable over the weekend. Okay, so it's not the close, well, it's not the beauty close, but looks like the low over here towards 1020 might be in play. So let's switch lower, let's have a look what we have, and if there is a possibility to join the party somehow. So either on the retest of the trend line, and I do prefer the horizontal, and horizontal for me is somewhere here. So more or less that's, well, we'll see if we are going to get there. So something around 1055, 1063, between 1055, 1065, so a little bit lower. I'm going to look for opportunity to try to sell euro dollar, but it's gonna be valid only for the next 1.5 hours. So if I'm not gonna be filled, then that's the weekend for me on euro dollar. all of them, right? So everything, if something is gonna be filled ahead of the European close, then fine. If Europe will close and I'm not gonna be filled on FX, I'm still fine, right? Then I'm gonna to monitor the S&P towards the end of the day. But looks like market decided to make it from the dollar perspective a little bit more interesting, and the rest is slowing down. So what I'm talking about is like euro dollar and cable, right? Of course, I would love to have every day like last Wednesday, right? But unfortunately, it's not working that way. So let's have a look what we have from the Michigan side. University of Michigan. German finance minister on wire. Scholz says, we are not expecting a recession in Germany. So you know what's the drill. When this type of the comments from those politicians coming up, meaning that something is going on, right? Of course, in an opposite direction, usually. Let me check. What's the? It's 4.5 point on S&P. It's incredible. So you can be sure that the only participants right now are machines, most probably. Incredible. Incredible, guys. Oh, yeah. So looks like this failure above the first 5-minute trading range high. So let's have a look how the bottom is going to look, retest of the bottom, how it's going to look like. Jeez. Come on, guys. Do something. I like the gold here. The only thing is that, you know, it's hard to trade long gold when the dollar is, well, looks like that's the way they wanna go. Okay, so looks like that's gonna how they want to unfold that one. Okay. So no, gold has no go from me, not here. Somewhere towards the next demand. So I'm gonna to remove that one, not to be confused. So this as a big range, right? That's what we've seen to the left, to the right. So let's be on the safe side. So lower levels. So maybe 55.60. We'll see. And the dollar is stronger, so okay. So dollar yen, the whole day range is like more or less 18 pips, maybe less. 18 pips, 1.8, 18 pips. S&P cash after the open, it's 4.5 point range. Cable was the mover, yes, it was. Euro dollar, it was what we visualized yesterday, so the plan was quite good. Canadian dollar, it's like maybe 20 pips mover for the whole day. So it looks like the Canadian dollar, the buying eventual pullback towards 32.30, 32.10, looks like it might be delayed by the next week. We'll see. But that's what I'm waiting for on the USD CAD, right? Equal moves to the downside. We have this possible demand based on what we discussed. On Wednesday, as far as I remember. So that's where we have our plan. Cable as well. For now, rally back towards 80 could be the case, but I don't think so. We are going to get that before the European close, so we'll monitor next week. Euro dollar rally back towards 55.65 eventually might be the opportunity. Gold looking for down move towards 55. I'm a little bit more bearish on the indices than I've been yesterday, but I wanna see some, spike. Some, I would like to fade some China-US trade news. So that's the plan, right? Yesterday plan worked out perfectly fine on euro dollar. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please visit the archive section on Light Forex Global YouTube channel and check our yesterday stream. Guys, that's pretty much it. There is no reason to watch for those charts when nothing is moving really. There are few ideas, few possible scenarios. Probably some of them I'm going to be tradable not earlier than next week. So it's time to recharge the battery, guys. Have a great weekend. It was, as usual, my pleasure to be with you every day. And as usual, guys, I promise you, market will be open next week. So there is no reason to try to chase something today. And again, if you have great week, there is no reason to try to lose something right now. If you had a bad week, most probably in 99 cases out of 100, you are not gonna recover your losses from the whole week on late Friday. So that's it from me, guys. Wish you a great weekend. Let's recharge the batteries and let's start again on Monday. Have a great one and goodbye, guys.